Hey, what's up, guys? Just giving you a little quick look on this day and time. Corals are doing great. Living room corals are doing fine. Things are going good. Fish are doing well. You can see everything's open, thriving, keeping everything stable, replenishing elements that are supposed to go back into the water. Having a calcium reactor. Even with a calcium reactor, just remind you that with my systems, I still got to dose a little alkalinity, and I still dose trace elements 2 millimeters a day, just in case. You never know. There may be depletion in salt quality, there may be depletion in other means with consumption of corals, and I just want to just make sure that with the trace elements being brought back into the water with the calcium reactor, that even if one was to, if there was a so-called negative or a mishap or depletion of elements or anything that was wrong with a batch of salts or anything and stuff like that, which I've been hearing lately from others, it's just trace elements help. Trace elements help. You can always do a testing, an ICP testing later on down the road, and you'll see a depletion of certain numbers, but not to the extreme levels where you'd be like, oh shit, my corals are dying and all this is going on. And we just want to make sure that everything is doing fine and stuff. So just looking at my dog, she's just getting a little rowdy today. But other than that, everything's doing well with this tank. I dose New York's trace elements, and that's the reason why I believe too is that my system's not perfect. There's going to be consumption rates, there's going to be certain depletion in elements, and when I do an ICP testing, I am depleted in certain others like sulfate. Even with the sulfate that I dose, even with the boron that I dose, there may be a little bit of depletion in that, with vanadium, with manganese, and a few other things. But I dose enough to keep the system going, to keep the so-called quality of water good enough for corals to thrive, grow, and letting the animals live, letting the animals do their thing. Now, just remember, each system's different. I believe in ICP testing, even though ICP testing may not give you the accurate numbers that you want, even though you can throw in another vial later on down the road, maybe a week later, or maybe 2 times on one day of a difference or whatever, and see if you get a different reading. At least you're getting numbers. At least you're getting an idea of what you need to put back into the water. Now, elements, having a system thrive, it's gonna take you as a person to keep it thriving, to keep it stable. And a lot of us get stubborn. We don't want to buy the chiller, we don't want to buy this, we don't want to buy that, because why is it that we need it? Redundancies. You buy these so-called Apex systems and all these other controllers, GHL controllers, and all this other stuff, for you spend so much money into it. Why not just invest into mechanisms that will just keep the tank from crashing, keep the tank stable, temperature, elements, dose what's needed back into the system. Take the time to do the math, do the ICP testing, do your regular testing, alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, and nitrates, and ammonia, and all this other stuff, and phosphates, and just see where you're at. Even myself, I don't test for nitrates and phosphates all the time, but I like to dose, and I like to test. I keep saying dose, like to test and see what's going on with what I do need to dose, or what I do need to do to keep the system stable. I change the carbon. I have carbon bags in the sump, and I change those every about 2.5 to 3 weeks. I try not to let it go any longer than that. But over here in the Achilles tank, I actually took out a lot of zoa, as you can see, because somebody came over and picked up a lot of coral. So I actually gave them a big little colony here of these zoas here that were growing in a cluster over here. And I peeled back, you can see a lot of this stuff here, and shortened that up. Gave him some of the utter chaos. I had a nice little plug here, gave that to him. And I gave him a lot of the, you can say, Nephnia, and there was a few Kenya trees in there also and stuff that I actually gave them. So I took a lot of this out here, gave him that, and it still looks like I got plenty. It doesn't even look like I took anything out, really. But I did. I took out some from the back over here, and let's see if you can see what I see. Yep, it's a twin spot wrasse, and I am hoping that he's going to be taking care of a lot of these pests in here.
and he's already scouring around. He's already looking. You can see he's just eyeballing things and see what he finds and see what he starts eating. You know, just got him in today, on this day, and beautiful looking wrasse, and I'll see if he does his job, see if he does his thing, see what he does. But he's already scouring around, he's looking, he's trying to see where he can find a home. And you know, the Achilles tank did become a little bit of a bully, but not too bad. You can see there he is, look at, you know, just trying to get a little riled up. You can see his eyes puffing up. He just gets a little mad when he sees them, but you know, that's how it is when you get somebody new in the tank. Other than that, the system overall itself is doing great. You know, you can see the Duncans are just freaking growing new heads like crazy, and they're just growing and growing and growing. And Torch is doing great, Zoes are doing good. Life is doing good in here, doing great. Now, let me go into the office tank and I'll show you guys what I'm going to be doing in there. But overall, this tank and this system is doing fine. Okay, we're in the office tank. I'm actually about to do the tank maintenance. I didn't want to do it until I actually took the corals out. So the guy, Stan, actually came by, picked up a lot of frags, basically took all the red digis that I had up here, and I had a few green ones. Kept this guy here. Gave him almost all the Monty cats, but I just have about 3 of them. There's one in the back that actually broke off, but I kept 3 small ones, but I gave him like almost 5 other frags. And I gave him some of the green digis, like I said, red digis, and you know, basically I'm gonna start cutting some of the stylo here and cutting like this branch here, maybe a little bit around this area here for right now, and then I'll just put them there for right now until I get my frag tank going. But you can see this system is just overgrown. A little bleach spot right here. I'm actually gonna nuke out this Aptasia. There's an Aptasia right in there. For some reason my copper band does not want to get him, but I don't know if you can see him when you zoom in right there, and he's causing a little bleach spot right there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just eliminate that guy and just peel back that bleached area. You can see my Christmas Monty right there is doing good. It's growing. Now that he's got more light, you can see all the polyps starting to come out and doing fine. Corals are doing good. Clam happy like always. Cucumbers sifting away at the sand. Pooping out sand. Doing his job, keeping the tank clean. Now, you know, this is under a calcium reactor. It does have a little bit of air in the reactor still. Tried to take some out last time. Obviously, I need to take out some more. But looking down into the sump area, just like all my other systems and everything. Let me put this back right there. So I do those trace elements, and you can see here it's the new Yois. What is it? Yeah, active elements. This has manganese. This has a few other things in there, that potassium. It's got other stuff in there that helps out with the system. And just make sure that thing's nice and flush on the cabinet floor. But just like I'm saying, you know, even though I'm getting a lot of trace elements back from the calcium reactor, and I do my ICP testing, I dose only 2 millimeters, and you can see right there, 2 millimeters a day. Just to replenish back that may be of what not being able to be brought back into the system on its own by the calcium reactor, by just other means of not having to replenish it myself. So I need to just put back what I believe is getting consumed by coral, and by doing that I have to dose. I gotta put back what I think is being taken out. And it's not about what I think is being taken out, it's what I see that's being taken out from ICP testing. So when I do my ICP testing, I do one, and then I'll do another like about a month later to a month later, and then I'll get the math, and I actually see the trend of what I need to dose. So I'll dose a little bit of sulfate, a little bit of this, and then I'll see how stable the system is from one point to another. If I need to increase the dosage or decrease the dosage, I will. And from there, I see stability, I see where I'm at, and I'll keep it at that level, and there's no reason to change it because I'm not adding in coral. Corals are growing. If I see a depletion of calcium or magnesium, or even my alkalinity drops a little, I'll just, you know, compensate by just changing a few things and putting it back where it needs to be at. I'm not trying to chase numbers. I'm just trying to keep it in a range where things can stay stable so things can keep growing, you know? And yeah, beautiful system, beautiful tank. I'm gonna clean the the acrylic and get everything all nice and clean, do some pruning, and yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be doing with this tank. But other than that, the system is stable, the system is doing well, and you can see how big it is. Look at my hand, and there's my hand. You know, and these are simple corals that are easy to grow. Simple corals can look so beautiful. Nice. So let's get this tank all cleaned up. All right. Okay guys, so clean the tank, everything's nice and clean. Basically, I already did the fragging. Look at that. And already you can see all the polyps are out, fresh glue on the plugs. And it's like, boom, like nothing ever happened. They're basically ready to be fucking sold. They're not even encrusted yet, and their polyps are all freaking out like, damn, what just happened? Yeah, so I ended up cutting them. I don't know if you can see, like all around there, you can see the fresh cuts. And you could probably see it better on this side. Yeah, there you go. So that's where I cut everything. Tank is now nice and clean. You can see more light is hitting. That actually opened up. And you can see whatever's left of this guy here. And so they're taking on the light very well. So system is clean. Basically, I still gotta clean the protein skimmer. Protein skimmer's still dirty. Look at that. Ugh. I'm gonna clean that right now. But the tank is clean. Basically, what I did was just clean the acrylic and everything, and just did the pruning of this, which is nothing. Look at all that. Look at all that's still left, and that's already full. So when I get my frag system going, which I gotta get going, I'm gonna take this whole thing out here, and no more frag rack. It'll be all in my new frag system. And look at $10 each. So I'm gonna put those online for $10 each and stuff. And if somebody buys the whole lot, I'll just give it to them for 60. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 frags or whatever. So, and they're nice big pieces. You can see. You see that? So it's not like they're getting something small. So that's it with the office tank. Now I'm just gonna go clean the bedroom tank and stuff like that, and you know, do what I do, and that's my maintenance, you know. And just like I said about the elements earlier, about, you know, replenishing what you need. Even though I got a calcium reactor, I still dose alkalinity, I still dose boron, sulfate, just like I said earlier. And what it is just, you know, doing your ICP testing, doing your testing, and just replenishing what you need. You know, we can all have a beautiful, thriving reef tank if we just keep things stable. And to keep things stable for my tanks means, you know, throwing in elements, more elements than what the calcium reactor can provide. So you see the growth that I have, and you see the way my systems are. You know, I'm not bullcrapping anybody. I'm not saying things to make up things. You obviously see my dosing regimens. You see what I do. It's just stability. And if I can create stability, and then, you know, I'll have something thriving, something beautiful. So I was actually talking to Arlene, and I was like thinking maybe we should just take this whole section out right here and just start new and just kind of just see where we go. You know, I don't know. I do love the overgrown look, but sooner or later I'm going to change things up. But first I'm going to start thinking about the living room tank.
I want to really upgrade that system, that whole stand, the whole everything. It's got to go soon. So I'm just gonna enjoy it while I have it. But we'll check out the bedroom tank right now. We'll see how that tank's doing right now. All right, guys. Okay, guys. Now we're in my bedroom tank. I just did a water change in here. I just changed 10 gallons of water. That's why you see some of the LPS and a few of the corals closing. Moving the sand bed, but you can see some of the pump action that you see right here is just the circulation in the water is already pushing the sand bed. And then what I noticed is that the wrasses actually like to go into this section here. You see this little slope right here, or this little hillside? They actually go right in there. They push more of this sand out here, and then it goes over here, and then the circulation of the pumps, the flow of the water just tends to pile it up like right here. And then I have to sway it back this way, and it is what it is. It is very fine sand. Look at that, a snail just fell right there. Oh man, I don't know why they fall to their death, but they do. Anyways, tank is doing great. Corals are doing awesome. This one SPS right here, not doing too well. You can see that one piece I cut off because ever since this Mocha Stylo touched it, it just seemed to have gone under, and this one seems to be doing the same too. You can see it's already just dying out slowly up on top of that branch right there, and you can see on top right there. And I don't know if I want to frag them and save them or just let it be and just let nature take its course. But either way, I'll see if maybe I might save them. But yeah, I'm gonna start taking, you can see these zoas here are definitely winning this situation here. So there's the old frag plug. I don't know if you can see it. It's like right there. I don't know if you can see that little circular spot right there. So I'm gonna take that off, and I'm gonna put that on this rock here. So see if they'll take on that rock and grow and live a nice happy life. And I was thinking of moving that strawberry shortcake, which is right there. I don't know, see if you can see my finger. I'm gonna like right there. I'm gonna actually move that guy, and I might put it in its place right here. So I'll probably put it like in around this area here, see if it kind of grows out. But you can see the green slimer every time I show you, and look at that. Look how quickly he's already branching out and growing. And he was branching out little by little, and he's just continuously growing. And this milk stylo here, I'm gonna have to start doing some more fragging, because look, he's ready to touch right there. And I still got those two little pieces there on the bottom, right over there. It's just, man. So once again, this is two-part right here. This is two-part A and B plus. And just like all my other systems, I do my testing, I replenish the elements that are needed, and basically just trying to keep everything as stable as possible, which is a chiller, and it's sump filtration and everything else. So basically just having the right equipment, maintaining everything, and just keeping a watchful eye on your corals, your fish, and everything around it should keep it thriving, should keep yourself watching, should keep yourself seeing and looking and enjoying and just doing your due diligence, which is maintenance and water testing. And yeah, this hobby comes with a price also. When it comes to replenishing, everything costs money, and unfortunately it just seems like prices are going up and up in this hobby. When are they actually gonna just flatline and stabilize itself to a set price where we don't have to keep spending more money for better equipment, better this, better that, to make life easier for us? I think it's already at a point where it actually is easier, but then it can be easier comes with a price tag to it, and that becomes expensive. So easier equals expensive,
And non-easy means probably spending less but yet spending more at the same time. So yeah, like me, I've been working so hard and stuff, but I still come back and I still deal with my responsibilities of taking care of my pets, and that's including my dogs and my fish and everything else, man. Life, life comes with responsibilities, and having one aquarium can take a toll on you, and myself having 4. And if you want to just say 3 systems, 4 tanks, 2 on 1, that's fine myself. That's also fine with me. It's just beautiful. It's relaxing. It's enjoyable. But water test, redundancy, having things in place so you can keep things stable, chiller, in an emergency. You have your battery backups. I have my generators also that I buy with 5-gallon containers of gas. I got 3 of them in a storage, just ready, just in case. You never know what can happen. But I always think about the what ifs, and the what if factor is definitely a thing you need to think about when you're in this hobby. We all want to say, it's not going to happen. Oh, it's only going to happen once. That hot day is only once a year. Oh, man, why need this? Why need that? I don't know. I always tend to just get it anyway. I already chose GHL as my new main controller, and it's going to just monitor things. Not really control things, just monitor. But I do like the fact that, I can get the chimes or, the texts or whatever and stuff that they do to alert you of there's a power failure or whatever. I already get that with the Red Seas. I don't get that with the Kessels. But the Red Seas, it'll tell me that there's a connection failure or this or Wi-Fi's out. And then I check up on things and everything's fine. But, I just, as a redundancy, I'll just, these new controllers, they're helpful that way. But once again, you want to be the controller yourself. You yourself are the controller, like everyone else says. And I am the monitor as well, as I monitor everything that controls. Like they say, who's monitoring the monitor? Anyways, it's actually getting kind of late here. It's already 9:30, close to 10. I haven't even fed my dogs yet. I'm about to feed them right now. And yeah. And there's my coal tank. Last time I couldn't even figure out his name and stuff. It's actually looking more beautiful. It looks like his color is actually more enhancing in the tank. Ever since I put him in this tank and the yellow tank also, they seem to be getting fatter and getting happier. When I got their color, I'm not gonna talk anything bad about the guy that I've gotten them from. He had them for years. I was even lucky to even get a yellow tank for what I got them for, and especially with a coal tank. But they just seem to be just more happier, just more colorful, and it just seems like they're just doing much, much better here. And I do dose Celcon when I thaw out my frozen food. So I put it in my frozen food in RO water. I drip some Celcon in there and just let it sit for like about 15-20 minutes, and then I drop it in a little bit of I rip up some seaweed sheet and just drop it in there, let it sit for another 10 minutes, and then I feed it to the fish. And that's the same method in all 3 systems, in all 4 tanks. So yeah. Vanadium elements. I dose vanadium every once a week. I didn't dose it last 2 weeks. When I looked at my log, it was the 9th that I dosed vanadium, August 9th. And I just dosed it just 3 days ago or something. So And that's what's good about logging in when you dose something, dose some elements. You know, these elements here, I already have them pre-programmed with the dosing units themselves, so that's easy to monitor. But when it comes to actually freehand, manually dosing things, I always write it down. I like to know when I did it last. You know, you will never remember as much as you would want to remember. You're not going to remember when you did it last. You'll always second guess yourself, and that's the thing. You don't want to overdose. So I always make a log of when I dose something separately. When it comes to actually feeding food, like rotifers or even sponge power or something like that, I don't really need that. It's a 1 day off, 1 day yes type of thing. So I already know it by doing that, but it is noted in my log that I do dose them as that 1 day yes, 1 day no type of thing. But it's just more the elements. When I free-handedly, manually dose it myself, and when I squirt the vanadium, or if I dose, what else do I dose? If I even calcium once in a while, my calcium levels are low. Or what do I dose? And that's it. Everything else is just being dosed on the dosers. Oh, iodine, of course, and stuff. And it is on the dosing units, but I dose it manually. I do the manual control every 2 weeks. I dose 1 ml of iodide. Fish are happy, things are healthy. ATO is going off right now, and the pump sounds loud. All right, well, tank is doing great. All systems doing good. I'm gonna have to frag out more. Soon these corals are gonna be ready to get fragged. I wanna start fragging out that red planet. These guys over here, you can see green Monty is already just growing all into the SPS right there. I'm gonna have to start basically cutting them. This one too. And just see where we're at. Get all these extra zoas that are growing around everywhere and just get them out and put them in a frag tank so they can grow and just let life continue what it's doing in here. Ooh, I love this view. I think this is like the best view right here. Get to see all of that. You can see the SPS in the back growing over there. It's like you never see that guy. That guy's always like fucking, whoop, I don't want to swear. Just freaking hidden in the back right there. He's a nice, good, thick piece. Anyways, all right, guys. Take care, peace. Do your water changes, check your water, do your testing. Take care of your animals. And hopefully things are going well with you guys and stuff like that. A lot of stuff happening across the country from left to right, west to east, north and south. You know, storms, droughts, fires. I just hope all you guys are doing good and staying cool, all right? And I hope your fish tanks are doing well too, and everything around you and life itself. All right, peace, guys. Until then, this is the Herm, and I'll be posting another video. And yes, as soon as I get a chance to get to Arlene's house, because believe it or not, me and Arlene are just, you know, we see each other. You know, she comes over here and visits me much more than I go to her house and stuff. And I'm supposed to go, and she keeps telling me, when are we going to adjust the par levels on her tank and stuff? And I was going to do that today, but I promised I will go to her house and start adjusting some par, because she wants to do some adjustments because she believes that it may be a little too strong for her Ghani. So we'll see what's going on with that. But I'm telling her we may just have to actually just... you know, turn off the pumps and everything and just spot feed it. So we'll see what's up. But other than that, peace, guys. I appreciate all you guys watching. I appreciate all the subscribers and everybody. And I don't even ask for that either and stuff. Just to let you guys know, I'm not asking for anything. I just appreciate just showing my tanks to you guys, and I appreciate seeing your tanks out there too. It's just awesome to see your guys' tanks. I love watching all the YouTube videos out there, regardless if they're good or bad, regardless how they do it, you know, how they film it, whatever. it keeps me busy and it helps me with my maintenance too. I love just listening in the background, just people talking, videos going, and it's just hey, I like it. I just don't like it, I love it. All right guys, peace.